So Daph wanted to come back and soul searching again. I'm just trying to find my way and I'm trying to share my growth, my experiences with somebody out there. And the reason why I do that is because we are connected. We have to understand that all of us are connected. If there's just one source and we're connected to that one source, if there's just one intelligence, we're connected to that all intelligence. If there is just one all knowing, we're connected to that one all knowing. And the thing that we have not been programmed to be is connected to all there is. We've been programmed to be box thinkers, masses of people thinking the same thing. So if we want to know all there is, then we cannot be put in a box. We cannot do something because somebody else is doing it. So Daph was coming back to talk about connection, how we are connected to each other. I just look back over the experiences that I have had getting to this where I am now. The people that I had in my life did not line up. They didn't line up with who and how I was. And people can line up with you in a toxic way, as well as people can line up with you in a untoxic way. So if you are connected to someone, you have to look at how energetically you're connected to them. What are you drawn to them for? What attracted you to them? What is it about them that you needed them in your life or wanted them in your life? We are drawn to people because of something we lack in ourselves that we see in them. That is the energy. That is the vibration. I don't know what people life are, but I'm sharing my life story, life experiences to help someone so that we can think differently. Was drawn to humble spirits, which means either I am humble to line up with that person so we can do something that serves for the highest good, or I'm not humble, and that's life. That's the God in me saying, Daphne, you're not humble. So I'm going to make you love the presence of a humble spirit. So I'm going to energetically line you up in divine timing with somebody who is humble, that you will not be able to deny that spirit is what you don't have or what you want. So I was lined up with that humble spirit. And every time I see that spirit, feel that spirit, I like that spirit. It makes me want that spirit. Now, the person who has the humble spirit can't give it to me. They can only mirror it to me. And so I started seeing what I was not doing that caused me to not to have that spirit. For me as a person with don't know my worth, I'm giving to someone who's not giving to me. And the spirit that I'm giving to is not giving me nothing. So that's saying to me, you can't give it away to get it. You got to keep it to get it. Meaning I'm going to keep giving my energy to somebody who's not going to give the energy back to me. So the person who's not giving it back is telling you you're giving something to somebody who you're not giving. But see, we just keep on saying, I'm the good person. I got a good heart. But all the while, we're not looking at the life lessons. No, it doesn't make you a good person or about your good heart. That's life showing. Well, if you got a good heart and you're a good person, then why would life send you somebody who's gonna take? Why wouldn't life give you somebody who's gonna give you like you're giving them? Everything you do comes back to you. So if you're a giver, why isn't life giving you a giver? That's food for thought. So this is why I stopped giving, because I wasn't getting. When you continue to give energy, time, tangible things to people and you don't get that back, you start growing resentment on your heart. You start growing resentment. And when your heart is not flowing with love, your vibration is going to show you have resentment. Because if you're giving because you have a good heart and you just this kind, loving person, you wouldn't get aggravated and agitated with the person. Now, would you? So when I realized that I was giving because I wanted to get, and that I was fooling myself by saying I'm just a nice person, I'm just a good girl, I accepted the truth. I was giving to get. And that I had to learn to demand to receive. If I'm giving, I would like to receive. It is called reciprocity. It is called equal give and take. And in order to receive, you got to know your worth. You cannot give to something that is not given to you. That is how you deplete your energy. This is how we grow internally characteristics that's not loving. And especially when we don't speak the truth about the person. Well, why don't you give me? I'm always giving you. Why don't you give me? Why don't you help me? I'm always helping you. Why don't you support me? I'm always supporting you. See, we don't speak the truth about we're living a lot of lies. Unconsciously, we've been programmed to behave a certain way. We all are connected. Every person that you meet in your life, you're connected to that person. And they come into your life in divine timing when you're ready for that life lesson. And a lot of us don't want to learn life lessons. And I don't understand, why do people think they're here? We're here to learn, to grow and evolve, to be our best self. So if somebody comes into your life, death is open to, I'll be looking for the next person to come. Because I want to be my best self. I want my son to be his best self. My grandchildren to be his best self. My nieces and nephew to be their best self. Everything in our bloodline, I pray for them to become their best self. So how will we grow if nobody comes to show us where we're not being our best self, where we're not being like God, which is love? Because they got a lot of people around here not doing what God says to do, which is to love ye one another. I'm my brother's keeper. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. They got a lot of people not doing that. How do we do that? What makes us do it? Life will make us uncomfortable. With a person in our life, life will make us uncomfortable. At a place we are, life will make us uncomfortable with the things that we have. And that's saying, this is not equally yoked. Life will continue to show us through people, places, and things what is not godly and what is not love. What is not equally yoked, what is not lined up, what is not divine. And until we become aware that we're here to live and learn to be our best self, we're going to keep spinning around on the hamster wheel. We're going to stay in toxic relationships. We're going to keep accumulating the things of the world to leave it here. We're going to stay in places that makes us unhappy, which robs us of our life force energy, because we're only here, a life force energy span, a life span is only 70 to 80 years. So we can live beyond 80 years, but it requires work. It requires for you to maintain your energy, or have a positive frame of mind, open your heart, elevate your spirit man to live past that, because you're offering the world something. It's why you will stay past. The world will not keep you here spreading darkness and evil and low vibration, and the world will not have, because the universe is not like that. The universe is harmonic and God is divine. So we do not change and become like God and become balanced with the universe, then we're not serving a purpose that helps everyone who is connected. We all are connected. So we all are connected, and we need to do something that helps everyone, not just self, not just the person you with. Help strangers, people you don't know, people you don't like. But you can only love people as much as they let you love them, but you can continue to be love by loving other people, and by continuing to put this out into the world. Point blank, we are connected, every last one of us. So if you meet who you meet, when you meet them, on what day you meet them, that's divine timing. Get what life lesson is trying to teach you. Why did I meet this person today? Why did I meet Landon? Why did I meet these landlords over here? Because I needed to see that I'm growing, that I'm on the right path, that I'm becoming more like love. That's why. And if I find someone along the way that brings me to the space of triggering me and something that's in me that's not lined up with the universe and not lined up with God, that's when I'll have to look at that. You see, life shows us what's not working for us and what hinders us from moving and evolving and growing and getting to the next thing in life. It makes us uncomfortable. When life wants us to move and grow and get out of a relationship and get off a job, it will make you uncomfortable. Or it's trying to tell you to speak your truth. Stand up for yourself. Say no. It is trying to tell us something, because I say I don't know nobody like. All I know was I needed to learn to speak my truth. But speak it in love and light. I always spoke it. But it was aggressive, because I had resentment of the way they treated me and made me feel. I needed to learn to balance my emotions. I needed to learn to express my emotions and not care what people think and say about me. I was suppressed in expressing how I felt. Now I will say what I feel when I feel it. And if they don't want to be lined up with that, whoever I'm expressing it to, that's their business. But I will not deny what I'm feeling, because that's my intuition speaking to me. And I'm releasing things that's trapped in the emotional body. When I speak my true feelings and I express my true feelings, that's setting my soul free. And we have to stop suppressing our emotion, because that's how we get the internal sicknesses. Because we're not letting the energy flow through us. We're suppressing it in us. So we have to learn the spiritual realm, energies, vibration. It's the thing that blocks us from growing and being our best self and living an abundant life. You can't be and receive abundance if you are trapped in pain, and you're trapped in stinking thinking, and you're trapped in negativity, and you're trapped in low vibrational, dense things. You have to be free to be. You have to be free to be a free thinker. You have to be free to be a free speaker. You have to be free to be a free to feel what you're feeling. We've been programmed to just stay in fear. Somehow that's the only thing the powers that be or somebody in your life want you to feel is fear. Because that's power over you. When a person just wants you to feel fear, they have some power over you where you're not looking at, why do I fear them? When there is a God. They're not my God. There is a God. So look at who you got in your life putting fear in you. Look at why they want you to be in fear. And why do you fear? Because they got millions of people on the planet Earth. Why do we stay with people that we know don't line up with us mind, heart, and spirit? Huh? For things of the world? Low self-worth? Insecurities? Something is causing us, someone is causing us, somewhere is causing us not to line up with what God is. And God loves us unconditionally, no matter what we say and do. No matter how many times we done said it and done it. We forgiven of our sins, past, present, and future. He says we are forgiven. So forgiven don't mean, but some people take advantage that God has forgiven us. So they continue to do it because God forgives you. Yes, you're going to be forgiven. But then you're not going to line up with what you want in life. Because you keep repeating what you know is not right. God will forgive us. But you only hurt yourself when you continue to do the thing that you know is not love. It's not helping someone else. It is hurting someone else because God forgives us. Yes, He will. For the past things, for the present things, and for the future things. But what and how does that help you? By repeating things that you keep needing forgiveness for. When you can learn from that. Well, God forgive me and I won't do it again. I'm beyond that. I'm above that. That's the past. Being forgiven for the same thing over and over and over and over. We can love people unconditionally, but we don't have to stay with people. We can love people from a distance, but we do not have to stay in toxicity. If you have love, why would love be with toxic? Love will be with love. Toxic will be with toxic. You can show them from a distance by leaving them. I can't stay in this because this is toxic. It does not line up with me. I will love you from over here. I can't stay in this job because it doesn't line up with me. I don't feel God in here. I don't feel love in here. So leave this job and go somewhere else. You see, that means I keep my power. I keep spreading love. I keep showing people what God is. See, I'm trying to do something to make the world a better place. But don't stay there, because when you stay there, then you succumb to that. And if you succumb to the emotion, then you start growing resentment internally. Having feelings internally that is not love, that is not happiness, that is not joy. See, people can put us in a space that we don't want to be in because we want something outside of ourselves. But when we choose ourselves and we choose to trust that thing that's in us, that love that's in us, that energy that's in us, that vibration that's in us, because we're connected to the universe, then we will see that we really didn't need that person and that we showed them, you're not my God. You're not the source of all there is. There is something out there, you guys, that loves us unconditionally. Something that we're connected to energetically, vibrationally, spiritually, that wakes us up every day, that makes our heart beat, that makes our lungs breathe. It makes our cells work. It makes us see out of the eyes. I didn't go into darkness today. I could see the light. There are some people that lost their eyesight today. Some people have been lost their eyesight. They're in total darkness. We take so much for granted about the essence that's in us. The essence of the universe that's connected to us. Because we are not tuned in, turned on, and tapped into ourselves and to who comes into our lives and how we all are connected. Everybody knows something. Nobody knows everything. This is how we're teaching each other. From what I know, from my life experiences. Somebody silenced my throat chakra. I've gotten that back. I've opened it up. So now I'm trying to share and teach someone how to open up their chakra by speaking the truth. Don't be afraid to speak the truth. But it's not what you say. It is how you say it. And I learned not to be aggressive, to speak my truth. And people will respect you, even though you spoke the truth to them. And then there's some that will not accept the truth. But life must go on. God says, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. So are we going to do it the way God says? You see what I'm saying? Or are we going to do it the way to accommodate somebody who don't want to look at the truth? Who don't want to do what God says to do? Either we want to do what God says to do, or we want to do what the darkness says to do. That's our choice. One way or another. We're going to be spreading love in this world, or we're going to be spreading darkness, evil, suppressing, oppression, dominating, violating, deceit, trickery, lies, preying on insecurities, preying on vulnerableness. Or are we going to empower people? I see your insecurities because I have some. See, that's speaking the truth. I can only see yours because I have some. I see you're vulnerable right now. But I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm not here to overpower you. I'm here to empower you, to show you that space that you're in. A person who doesn't look a person in the eye when they're talking to them, they got low self-worth, insecurities. You look somebody dead in the eye when you're talking to them, let them know, look, I don't have no secrets, I don't have no games, I ain't down with the mayhem. So I used to tell that to my students on the bus. You look at people when they're speaking to you. It shows them that you have courage, that you're brave. Do not look down and look around and all this. Look dead in the eyes. Yes? Because we all are connected. And that'll tell a person that I'm not here to do you anything. I'm just here to learn what I got to learn and teach what I got to teach. Because we all are here to live and learn from each other. Grow and evolve. That's how God communicates. He communicates through us. Vibrationally. I'm not sure how many of y'all vibrating on love. You see, that's how you know God is in a person, because they vibrate on love. They want the best for another person. They tell them better. They hold them accountable. They speak truth to them. That's how you know the person who's connected to God and doing what God says. And the person who says, oh, you think you better than me and you bringing up your past because you've changed, that's the person who's not trying to be like God. Because the person trying to be like God will be down with being like God. Yes? I just want to come bring connection. We can feel each other because we all are connected. And people could feel vibrationally your weaknesses, especially if they are strong in that area. Point blank period. And people could sense your strengths because they are weak in that area vibrationally. So we have to know ourselves, where we're weak and where we're strong, to determine what a person is coming to teach us or what we're supposed to be teaching someone. Because we're meeting these people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Point blank period. Find out why you meet who you meet when you meet them. What is the reason? So that you can grow to be your best self. Why are you with who you with? What are you doing with this person that helps other people? Because this is about making the world a better place. Teaching directly and indirectly. Raising the vibration to love from darkness. What are we doing to make this world a better place? By being connected to each other. Yes? Dad, gonna get on out of here. Let this sizzle in your spirit. We are all connected. Feel what you're feeling. Sit with it. Sit with what feeling you got and comes up when you are with someone. And if that feels good, that's the God in them. If that feels bad, that's the devil that they're operating off. That's in them. Because we can operate under the devil influence and we can operate under God influence. And a lot of people working under the influence of the devil unconsciously. Because we've been programmed to behave that way. So we have to get in the moment. We have to become aware of how we're treating the next person. And that we're not learning to be our best self. And we're not being more like God. We have to look at that. We have to look at what we are doing to someone else that is not godly, that is not loving. That is not the way I want to be treated. So I'm not going to do that to somebody. Yes? What if it was you? That's what I used to do. When I started on this journey, Daph started saying, what if this was me? When I see something unpleasant, I see somebody needed help. What if this was me? If we start asking ourselves, what if this was me? Maybe we might start doing things differently. Because the table can always be turned. God is almighty. He will send somebody in your life if you're supposed to grow and evolve to be better. Wouldn't you want somebody to help you? Wouldn't you want somebody to uplift you? Wouldn't you want somebody to encourage you? Wouldn't you want somebody to motivate you? Wouldn't you want somebody to inspire you? Yes. Wouldn't you want somebody to love you? And look past your faults and see the need? And that's what we got to start doing. Look past people's faults. See what they need. And we might have what they need, we might not. But we still can love them from a distance. We don't have to stay in toxicity to love somebody. Because it robs us of our love. It has emptied the cup. We're trying to give something to somebody who don't want it, taking advantage of it, using and abusing it, draining your cup, and never filling up that cup. So we can't deplete ourselves. This is where we got to let go. Oh, come through spirit and let God. Yes? That's going to get on out of here. I love y'all to the moon and back. Namaste.